Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Aditi, your leadership and branding coach, and we are doing a body reboot. Okay, so we're going to talk about how your beliefs about your body actually affect your entire life. Now, I wanted to share this one thing. Like, have you guys ever been to like hotels and there's like these really big mirrors and you just like walk in and you're just like, whoa, like, I don't know if you've had this experience before. If you can relate, let me know in the comments. But there's times where I've seen mirrors and I was horrified at what I saw in the mirror. I was just like, whoa, is that what I look like? Oh my God. Like I thought I looked so much better in my head. You know what I mean? And then you see this mirror and you're like, get me the hell away from this mirror. Who the hell put this mirror here? Aren't the mirrors supposed to be in the bathroom? And, I would have this experience many times where I would literally be horrified what I saw in the mirror. All I would see is like all my flaws. I would see like blemishes on my cheeks. I would see like my uneven ears, which are covered by my hair right now. I would see like, my chubby body, my stomach bunching out, maybe my arms looking really fat, or whatever it was. And it just would kind of cripple me and it would just make me feel really shitty about myself. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but it was really, really tough for me to like face myself in mirrors, and I would just avoid mirrors. I would avoid them because I just didn't like what I saw and I didn't want to see that, so I would just avoid it, because seeing myself in the mirror would remind me what I really thought about myself and what I really thought about my body and how it looked. And it would make me realize that I thought I was ugly, and that was painful. And so because of that, I would just avoid the mirror, because who wants to like face the fact that they think they're ugly, right? Like that's painful. That's super uncomfortable. And so I would avoid mirrors, and I didn't like looking at myself, and I really just had a very unpleasant relationship with my body. And because of that, I had an unpleasant relationship with my entire self. I was uncomfortable in my body. I was uncomfortable with myself. And this relationship with myself kind of spilled over into different areas of my life, at work, in the dating scene, with money. If a guy liked me, like I would just kind of avoid it, or I just wouldn't want to get too close. I would just reject them because I didn't want them to like see my body up close. You know what I mean? I was like, no, like, I'm not interested, that's nice. Like, I just had so much shame, and, I just thought I was ugly. So I just didn't go for the opportunities that I wanted to actually go for, because I didn't want people looking at me. I didn't want any attention. You know what I mean? Like, don't look at me. And like, if there was an opportunity to speak up at work, I would be hesitant to take it. I would rather not take it because I didn't want everyone looking at me, because then they would see how ugly my body was. You know what I mean? Can you guys relate to this? Because I find that it's so interesting that what you think about your body literally affects your entire life. It affects the way you show up. It affects the opportunities you go for. It affects, every decision you make because of the way you feel about yourself. And, I've lived in this state for so long. And, at some point, I think I just got into a place where I was just like, I can't live like this anymore. This is fucking painful. Like, is there another way? You know what I mean? Like, do I have to wait until my body changes? And, for a long time, that was my belief. And I was waiting, till I lost the weight, or till, maybe I had money for some surgery to move some things around, change some things around. And it was just debilitating. It was debilitating. And I just knew at some point, I just broke down and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, is there another way? And I saw other women. There were some women who I would see as examples who just felt really comfortable. They just felt good about themselves. They went for the opportunities. They did whatever. They were comfortable with their body exactly the way it was. you know? And maybe I thought, it's because they have a certain body that they can be comfortable with themselves. But then I also saw other people that didn't have the standard body type that was, in media as accepted, but they still were able to show up in a certain way. So I wanted to feel that myself. So I was like, what can I do? Like your relationships with others are affected. Your career is affected. How much money you make is affected. And these last few years, like I've really been working on shifting and healing this relationship with my body. And that is what has allowed me to start shifting things in my life, going after those opportunities, doing the things that I really want to do. And because of that, that's how I've been able to start releasing the weight off my body. I've now released 60 pounds. Woohoo! And I've built a business from scratch, from 0 to 120K, by putting myself out there, by being visible, by being online. You'll find I have videos from when I first started building my business at my highest weight. You'll see me. And I just started to do something different and shift that so I can start doing the things that I really wanted to do, and stop hiding. So I want to invite you, if this is something, maybe you're in a place right now where you really don't have a good relationship with your body, or you hate your body, or you're just having a tough time maybe looking at mirrors and all that kind of stuff, I want to help you kind of shift it and move to a place where you actually feel good about your body. And you can actually do that without anything changing. Okay? That's where I started. That is where I started. And, do I have these kind of moments still where I sometimes, forget I'm horrified when I see myself in the mirror? Absolutely. But, this is a part of life, and we find ways to work through it. But I will tell you, it's a lot less than it used to be. A lot less, dramatically less. In fact, you'll actually catch me sometimes admiring myself in the mirror. Like, I'll just like, oh, wow, I love this. This is so nice. Ooh, look at that beauty. And I'll be like winking at myself. Completely different shift than what it used to be, right? So if this feels like, wow, like I want to feel that way too about my body, or when I look in the mirror, I want to feel that way about myself. I want to help you with that. Okay. So it's such a freeing experience. Imagine what it would feel like to just be able to wear what you want, frolic around the way that you want, and do the things that you want, go after those opportunities, no matter what your body looks like. That you just own it and you just fucking show up like a badass. I want that for you. So here are 3 questions that I'm giving you to help you start the process. And I also have a worksheet to help you actually fill it in and write it in. So where are you going to go for that? aditticreative.com/reboot. And from there, you'll be able to access all of these videos and the worksheet. Okay? aditticreative.com/reboot. All right. So here are the 3 questions. Now, before I tell you these 3 questions, I want to give you a caveat that this process for me started in my most painful moment. Okay? So if you're there right now, know that this is going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but if you know that something's got to change and you just don't want to live like this anymore, then I invite you to do this activity with me. Okay? It's only 3 questions. Okay? And I want you to love yourself through this process. I started from the bottom, and if you're starting from the bottom, I got you. Okay? Let's do this together, because I know how scary this can be to even just face your own painful thoughts about yourself. But I promise you can have a different experience in your life by just doing this process that we're going to do in these few days. Okay? And even just today, even just doing today is going to help you make a little bit of a shift. Okay? So the first question is, how do I feel about my body? Now, if you're someone like me who has kind of just numbed out all that shit and I just don't even know how I feel about my body, and I'm like, I feel okay, like I feel neutral, it's likely that you may be disconnected from yourself because you just kind of turn that part of yourself off. Okay, so how to kind of open this up is go to the mirror right now and look at yourself. And then ask yourself, how do I feel about my body? And see what comes up. Now, if you want to cry when you do this, that's completely okay. All right, let whatever wants to come out, because it's possible that you've been just maybe putting this stuff under the rug or avoiding these things for a long time, because that's what I did. I literally just avoided it because it was just too painful to look at. But when I started to look at it is when the shifts started happening for me. So I want to open that up for you as well, okay? Now the next one is, you're going to ask yourself, how do I feel about my body? The second question is, how has this affected my life experiences and how I show up in the world? So I want you to just think and just kind of reflect on your life. Like maybe a time that you held yourself back because you didn't want people to look at you, or you just didn't want to, face how you felt about yourself, maybe in a romantic situation, in a career situation, money, relationships. Just think and seek if you can find some times in your life where that's happened, okay? I had shared with you a few times, at work I didn't raise my hand. There was a guy, and then there was another time, like, there have been guys who've liked me, and I just was like, no, because I just didn't want to even, like, face how I felt about my body, and I was ashamed and I was scared, like, what they will think, or, what they'll find out about how ugly my body is, things like that, right? And the third question is, now that you've seen this, what do you want to do about it? Do you want to do something different? Do you want to have a different relationship with your body? Right? And if you don't, if you feel good about where you are, then you're perfectly good. But if you don't, then decide that I want to shift this, and decide what is it that you want to shift it into. What do you want it to be? What kind of relationship do you want to have with your body? What kind of relationship do you want to have with your body? Okay? Now, answering these questions may be really tough, but it may also provide you a sense of relief, because it's possible that you've been kind of holding this stuff in, and over time, it's like, it just keeps building up. So just kind of letting it out just provides a sense of relief that can be really powerful. All right, so what we're going to be doing, if you're doing this as a part of the reboot, if you're watching this as a standalone video, then you got what you need. But if you're doing this as the reboot, right, here's what to expect in the other videos. So today was how your beliefs about your body affect your entire life. In video 2, we're going to get into how to build a relationship with your body. Video 3 is how to deal with negative body image. Video 4 is how to create a positive body image. And number 5 is how to access your body's innate wisdom. All right? Remember, I got your back. I'm here with you through this process. I know it might be painful, but I promise you, it feels so damn good on the other side. Do you guys see me? Right? All right. So I love you so much, and your body loves you too for doing this work. All right, you guys. I love you so much, and we're going to continue with this week. All right. So if you want to shift your relationship with your body, this is the week to do it. I'm going to be going live every day. If you're catching me live, if you're catching me later, all the videos are here for you. All right, guys. If you're watching this later, watch the whole thing because it's super powerful. Love you so much. Bye.